Yes, everybody. Hi. So I welcome you all to the GST Park, and we will be discussing about one more a topic. The topic is related to the amendment. The next episode of amendment topic. So here we'll be discussing about the amendment में what are the returns में what are the amendments in returns. So we'll be discussing about what are the amendments in returns. The returns amendments here, which says that additional cases prescribed. Okay, minute. I couldn't write here. Okay, additional cases which are prescribed, wherein a registered person is debarred from furnishing the details of outward supplies. So here the registered person will be debarred from furnishing the details of outward supplies. Can you tell me in which GSTR, which returns we will put our sales, our outward supplies, we will put it in GSTR 1, correct? No, in GSTR 1 we will put our outward supplies. Now remember that in section number 37, rule number 59, basically rule number 59, sub rule 6, if you refer to that, rule number 59, sub rule 6, which used to say that if you have not filed the return for the previous period, if you have not filed the 3B return for previous period, then you are not allowed to go for GSTR 1 for the present period. In the present month, you cannot file your GSTR 1 if you have not filed 3B for the previous period. So now that was given in rule number 59 sub rule 6. Rule number 59 sub rule 6 mein there are three parties who are considered as not allowed to go for GSTR 1 in the present period if you have not filed the return for previous period. You have not filed the return for previous period, previous month, and if you are under QRMP, second point, if you are under QRMP, if you have not filed the return, 3B return for the previous period, then you are not allowed to go for GSTR 1 in this month. At the same time, if you are liable under 88C, remember liable under 88C, if you are liable under 88C, then again you are not allowed to go for this one. So again, if you are liable under 88C, you are not allowed for going for GSTR 1 here. Now, with that, they have added some extra point here. There are two extra persons who are not allowed to go for GSTR 1 in this month if they have failed to go for 88D. A new rule has been added, 88D. See, this is rule 6, rule 59.6, which is amended. Now uske baad they say that here first we will do one thing. We will finish off this second amendment, which is that 88D. What is that rule 88D? First we will finish this and later we will go to the previous one. After finishing this, we will go to the previous one. Okay. So now listen to me. Remember that in GSTR 3B, if I am liable under, when I am filing GSTR 3B, no, I can put the ITC. I used to put the ITC there, correct? Now first I have to say that what is GSTR, what is my sales as per GSTR 1 and what is my ITC as per GSTR 2B, correct? No, ITC as per GSTR 2B. So that only that ITC I can avail as per GSTR 2B. What is there in GSTR 2B? Only that ITC I can avail. What if I have shown more ITC in GSTR 3B, which is more than the ITC which was already available under GSTR 2B? So I show more in GSTR 3B than what is available under GSTR 2B. Government says that, see, you are allowed for GSTR 2B ka ITC. If you are claiming more ITC more, then you have to reverse that ITC. You have to reverse that ITC. You are not allowed to go for more ITC which is more than 2B. So now government says that it is auto-generated statement. See, it is given that manner of filing, difference in ITC available in auto-generated statement containing the details of ITC and that availed in written prescribed. So getting this, what is auto-generated statement? What is auto-generated statement? Auto-generated statement is nothing but 2B, GSTR 2B. Auto-generated statement is GSTR 2B. So the manner of dealing with the difference in ITC availed in GSTR 2B statement containing the details of ITC and that availed in the written prescribed. So that means 3B written, which is the written prescribed here, which is 3B written. So how to deal with this, sir? Nothing. Government says that you have to file GST DRC 01C form. You have to file GST DRC 01, that you have to file. About all this DRC, all these things, no, you will study in final level. Okay? You will study about this in final level. Right now that is not required, but we will study what is given in that rule 88D. Let's read. See, a mechanism has been devised which allows the system based intimation to the taxpayers. System based intimation to the taxpayer about the excess availment of ITC in form GST 3B with aways that report in 2B. So what is given in 2B now? That is less, but 3B may you have shown more. Above in particular, you have shown that above in particulars, continued, threshold and with the provision of self-compliance on the portal by the said taxpayer. So you have to do some self-compliance in the portal. What you have to do? Nothing. You have to file GST DRC. DRC you have to file and you have to explain. So consequently, a new rule 88D has been introduced. The system-based intimation. So what is this? System-based intimation is nothing but notice. System-based notice will be given to you. System-based intimation to the registered person in those cases where difference between ITC availed in GSTR 3B. Correct? No, we are filing in GSTR 3B and the available in GSTR 2B exceeds. So what is available in 2B, that is less. GSTR 3B may you have shown more amount and such percentage as may be recommended by the council. They might say that you cannot avail. 25% is there. In your case, you get 100% ITC which is there in 2B. 100% ITC which is there in 2B. But if there is any difference, that means your availment amount exceeds more than certain amount or percentage as may be prescribed. Right now they have not given it. In future, in say next amendment they might. The case registered person shall be directed to pay an amount equal to the said excess amount ITC availed along with the interest. Where interest is given? Wrong availment, section number 50 subsection 3. Section number 50 subsection 3 it is given, no? That one. That amount you have to pay. Give the reasonable explanation, and if neither of this is done, so if you don't do this, that means you have to reverse it or reverse it plus interest, reversal amount plus interest that you have to pay, or what you have to do, or you have to give the explanation, explain why you have taken more. If nothing is done, then 73 and 74. Remember what is 73, 74? It is demand and recovery. This provision would help in safeguarding the revenue. Correct? No, revenue. That means government's money you are eating. You are taking more ITC, government's revenue, and the difference of ITC availed in 3B and that would available in GSTR 2B, taxpayer will reduce the ITC mismatch. So these kind of mismatch, no, that will get reduced. That's why government did put this. Now we will study about the new rule. What is that new rule, sir? Given here. See, New rule 88D. So new rule, it is given here 88D provides as follows. What is given in rule 88D? So which says that where the amount of ITC availed by the registered person in the return for the tax period, in the return, which return they are talking about? They are talking about 3B. Him in GSTR 3B exceeds the ITC available to such person in accordance with the auto-generated statement. What is that auto-generated statement? 2B. Containing 2B, the details of ITC in form GSTR 2B in respect of the said tax period by specific amount or percentage, the said registered person shall be given an intimation in prescribed form electronically on the common portal. On the common portal, one electronically, you will get one intimation. You will get an intimation. Very careful about this intimation. When this intimation under rule 88D will be given, if your 2B is less, 3B is more. ITC in 2B is less, 3B you have availed more, and a copy of such intimation shall be sent to the email ID. So at this time, what he has to do? A registration or amendment from the time to time. So that means whenever you have, if you have amended non-core field, if you have amended the registered email ID, then to that registered email ID, the said intimation shall highlight the difference between and will direct him to. They will highlight the difference. What difference was there? That they will highlight and they will direct him to. If you have done this, now you will get one intimation that will direct him to pay an amount equal to the excess ITC availed in the said form GSTR 3B. GSTR 3B mein, along with the interest payable under section 50 subsection 3 through the prescribed form. The prescribed form is there, that is DRC 01 part 01C, I guess. GST DRC 01C. So there you have to pay it back. Or very important one is or what can be done, sir? Or an explanation. Explain the reason for aforesaid difference. Why there was difference? Why did you take more ITC on the common portal within a period of 7 working days? So within a period of 7 working days, you have two options. What are the two options, sir? Option number 1, pay the amount with interest as per section number 50, or give the explanation. Explain that why you are not why you are taken extra ITC. That such registered person, upon the receipt of the intimation, said intimation, what he has to do, sir? Pay an amount equal to the ITC specified in intimation, fully or partly, along with the interest payable through the prescribed form. So the prescribed form is GST DRC 01. Through the prescribed form, details thereof, electronically on the common portal, or furnish a reply. At least electronically furnish one reply. Why you have taken so much? You have to do that within how many days? 7 days, not working days. 7 days. It is properly mentioned as 7 days. Where, sir, I don't do this, sir. I don't pay. I neither pay nor give the explanation, sir. I sit quiet. Or I have given wrong explanation. Then, where any amount specified in the intimation remains to be paid within 7 days period, and where no explanation reason is furnished by the registered person, in default, or where explanation reason furnished by person is not found to be acceptable. If he finds that it is not acceptable, you have not filed, you have not paid, you don't reply by the proper officer, the said amount shall be liable for demanded. So he will demand you. So the proper officer will ask you, he will demand you, you have to provide. Okay. And under section 73-74, demand and recovery will apply. What is this demand and recovery? We will study in final level. So basically, what this second amendment, new rule says, sir? If you ask me, sir, what is this new rule is all about? New rule is very simple. New rule says that, see, actually, what you have to do? you have to take only those much of those ITC which is there in 2B. What is there in 2B? No, only that ITC you are allowed to take. Sir, I took more ITC. If I take more ITC, GST payable in cash will be less, no? Correct, remember? Yes, sir. If I take more ITC, then GST payable in cash will be less. If that is less, then I can enjoy the extra amount, excess amount which I have collected from my customers. I can enjoy that. If I do that, then automatically the system generated intimation, system based, first line itself, see, system based intimation will be sent to you. System based. Why it is system based? Nothing, it is not manual one. No GST officer will draft that intimation. Intimation is automatic. System based intimation will be sent to you. And what you have to do now? If that intimation may, what will be written? What is the difference? That will be written. And what you have to do on receipt of that intimation, you have to reply. You have to pay and reply, or you have to reply, give an explanation. Within how many days? 7 days. If you don't do that within 7 days, now section number 73, 74, demand and recovery. This is rule 88D. Okay, sir. Now I understood what is rule 88D. Rule 88D. Now we will go to this point. First point, where additional cases the prescribed wherein a registered person is debarred from furnishing. See, last month May, in your 3B, in last month in your 3B, you have taken more ITC than GSTR 2B. In 3B you have mentioned more ITC. Now what will be done? If more ITC is taken, then rule 88D says that you will be given one intimation, system based intimation is given to you. In that system based intimation mein, that difference will be there. You have to pay that difference within 7 days. Sir, I don't pay it, sir. Don't worry. You will 73 and 74. Section 73 and 74 is applicable. Not only that. After this 73 and 74, the next month, no, you cannot file GSTR 1. You cannot file GSTR 1. That is what has been added here. That is newly inserted clause says that a registered person to whom an intimation has been issued on the common portal, a registered person to whom the intimation has been issued on the common portal under the provision of rule 88D1. Rule 88D1 mein some of the provisions are there. In respect of a tax period or period shall not be allowed to furnish GSTR 1 a subsequent tax period unless he has either paid the amount equal to the excess ITC as specified in the said intimation. So you have to pay the excess amount which is there in the said intimation, or has furnished a reply explaining the reason in respect of such excess ITC. You have to explain what is your reason. Explain the reason. So if you don't do it now, next month ke liye GSTR 1, no. You cannot file GSTR 1 for the next month if you don't reply or if you don't pay. So this is one point. First we have discussed about rule 88D. In that specifically one rule 88D that we discussed. Uske baad, so later we are discussing that if you don't do this, then there will be penalty plus 73 and 74. Demand and recovery will be there. Plus upon that, here it says ki you are not allowed to file GSTR 1 for the next month. A registered person shall not be allowed to furnish GSTR 1 if he has not furnished the details of bank account as per the provisions 10A. Rule 10A. Remember rule 10A? We discussed rule 10A. What is rule 10A registration chapter mein? We discussed that if you don't mention your bank account, then automatic suspension will happen. Your registration, earlier it used to get cancelled, but last amendment may we discussed that automatic suspension will happen. On that suspension, obviously in next month you cannot file GSTR 1 and IFF. GSTR 1 IFF is not allowed. You cannot file GSTR 1 and IFF. This notification amendment was given in so and so date. So this date may, and notification number is so and so. And thus the crux is that, what is thus? Rule number 59.6 stipulates the cases where registered person is debarred from furnishing the details of outward supplies in form GSTR 1 IFF or IFF. There you cannot give the details. When you cannot give details, if provided you are not filing the reply for 88D(C), where it is given, said rule has been amended to provide that registered person will not be allowed to GSTR 1 or IFF to furnish in GSTR 1 or IFF. He has reversed the amount of excess ITC specified in the intimation or under rule 88D(1). So you will get one intimation, no? Next, or has furnished the reply explaining the reason for excess ITC remaining to be reversed, and he has not furnished the details of valid bank account under rule 10A. So in both the cases, no, your extra two guys are debarred from putting GSTR 1, furnishing the details in GSTR 1. So that was the amendment which was there, statutory updates which was there for your examination. Okay, one last time. In returns chapter mein, what is the amendment which has happened, sir? If you ask me, first one, number one, rule 88D has been introduced. What rule 88D says? See, GSTR 3B and GSTR 2. Whatever which is there in GSTR 2, same amount you can claim as ITC. You avail and utilize the ITC. What if you avail excess here? Then a system generated intimation will be given to you. System will automatically give you one intimation. In that intimation, what will be written in that intimation? Why GSTR 1 and ITC claimed in 3B is mismatched. What is the mismatch? And they will ask the explanation. In that intimation, they will make you to give the explanation or pay the amount with interest. Now, upon receiving that intimation, what you have to do? You have the two options. Either pay the amount, reverse the amount with the interest, or give the explanation within 7 days, not working days, within 7 days you have to reply. If you fail to pay the amount with the interest, or if you fail to give the explanation, or you give the explanation that is wrong explanation, it is not acceptable, then what the government will do? They will demand, they will dispose your reply, or they will dispose the case by initiating section number 73 and 74, demand and recovery. That was second point. Rule number 88D. Now, based on this rule 88D, which is newly introduced, there are two persons who are debarred from, that is first point, first amendment. Two persons who are who are debarred from furnishing the details in GSTR 1. Who are these two guys? One, see, actually there are three guys were there in your textbook. The study material mein 3 guys are given. Number 1, who is that number 1? If you are not filing GSTR 1 for the previous period, 3B for the previous period, that is previous month, if you have not filed 3B, then you cannot file GSTR 1 for this month. Furnish the things in GSTR 1 for this month. Number 1. Number 2, if you are QRMP guy, then for the previous period, if you have not filed GSTR 3B, then this period you cannot put anything in GSTR 1 or IFF. Number 2. Number 3, if you are not following 88C, if you are not following rule 88C. What is rule 88C? Remember what is rule 88C? Rule 88C mein, if you are not filed, if you have not, GSTR 1 mein, GSTR difference in the outward supplies in GSTR 1 and 3B, then you are required to pay some penalty, and at the same time you are required to give some explanation also. That is 88C. Now the new two guys are added. One is rule 88D. Rule 88D mein, if you are not given reply, or if you have not reversed the ITC in rule 88D, or not given any reply, then you are not allowed to file GSTR 1 for this month, this tax period. And the last one is that rule number 10A के हिसाब से, on the basis of rule number 10A, you were required to give the bank details soon after getting the registration. Correct? No, you have to get the the amend your registration certificate by putting your bank account. But recently we have seen that one amendment was there. If you don't put 10A, then automatic suspension. If you don't follow rule number 10A, automatic suspension. And after suspension, you are not allowed to file GSTR 1 also. You cannot file GSTR 1. So these are the 5 guys. For your syllabus purpose, there are 5 members. It is extra added to you. So these are the amendments which were applicable for returns chapter. Okay. So these were the amendments which we have discussed. I think there is only one amendment which is pending now. So that is exemption ka amendment. Soon I will put the video in GST Park next episode mein. Especially amendment series mein only one video is pending, that is exemption wala. First we will finish the exemption ka revision, everything in the exemption revision playlist mein. So once we finish that, we will come back to this point. Okay. Until then, people keep studying, keep growing, exams nearing. I hope, I believe that you are revising GST or income tax or any other subject for that matter. I believe that you have given 100% attention plus 100% of your dedication to this course. I wish you all the best. Again, we'll meet in next episode with next amendment. Until then, keep studying, keep growing. Hail GST. Bye.